There we go. Whenever there's major conflict in the Middle East, at least in our generation, we should be paying attention to that, right? Because watch, there must be conflict for him to bring that treaty, right? I wouldn't even be surprised if he's alive right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's working his way through the political ranks. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in college somewhere. You could feel his spirit in the earth, that antichrist spirit. I would not be surprised if he was alive right now, right? But anytime there's conflict in that part of the world, that region of the world, we should be paying attention, because the man of sin is going to rise with that peace treaty for Israel. Can we talk honest? Like right now, as you and I record, the U.S. is at war with Iran. But then you have end time nations that are flirting with getting involved in this war, like Russia, like China. China's mentioned in the Old Testament, is mentioned in the scriptures. Is Russia, these nations geographically where they are mentioned in the scriptures as end time nations. They're flirting with getting involved with this.
What if I told you there's $1 trillion industry right in front of us, and I've known about AI and really can't miss it? Think about it like this. Think about buying NVIDIA Palantir when it was $30 or $7. Those people are millionaires right now. So I'm gonna give you 2 ETFs that I already been buying, but now I'm about to double down on buying it because we can't afford to miss this, y'all. Now think about this for a second. The SpaceX IPO is coming, and it will give birth to one of the largest industries we've ever seen. Space infrastructure. The company's already evaluating at $1.5 trillion. So the window to get positioned is right now. Again, I'm gonna give you 2 ETFs that I'm buying more of. But let's dig on this a little bit. Elon already agreed to a $1 trillion package with SpaceX. Part of that package means he got to put 1 million people on Mars permanently. And the company has to reach a $7.5 trillion evaluation. That means SpaceX is real. That means space is real. So we can't avoid to miss that. So the first ETF I'm gonna give you is UFO. It was created in 2022. Now it's already up 30%, beating the S&P 500, and in 1 year it's up 130%. Think about that. It's already rallying with the idea of SpaceX going public. Now some of the biggest companies inside of it is Planet Labs. They collect videos from space to Earth. They feed data. The second one is Rocket Lab. Now they kind of make sure the communication networks work. And the third one is AST Mobile. These are companies that exist already inside of SpaceX's orbit. So money gonna flood into that. And UFO is already positioned to capture every dollar of that. So think about that. Globalstar will help satellites communicate consistently, and Sirius SM will help, think about satellite radio. Now, the second one is Mars, ticker symbol MARS. It was created this year in March. It's already up 26%. So that tells us that Wall Street is slowly gaining momentum while everybody is chasing chips. They're like, okay, cool, but we moving on. And some of their biggest position is Rocket Lab also, but also AST Mobile. They turn satellites into cell towers out of space. That's interesting. So while most people keep treating space science fiction, Wall Street is the next frontier. And they treat structure. And infrastructure means rockets, it means defense, it means satellites, it means communication. It means a whole nother world, which means we can profit off of it. The problem is we won't take it serious until it's already running. And once it's running, we're already late. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Shut us with somebody who won't get that space money. Salute. What if I told you there's a
So they did send a mission to the moon. Apollo missions were real. Now, if you download the black box audio from Apollo 11, which is now available from the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, you can get the redacted document and the audio, which I've been in the documentary, both are shown. You hear Neil saying, look at those convex craters down there. He's saying dome structures now. I bet the people down there never get out. That's a weird thing to say on a very serious mission. They land, and there's also some audio that's available to the general public from ham radio operators at the time of the moon landing, where you hear one of the astronauts saying, they landed on the crater across from us and they're watching us. And that was confirmed by Norman Berggren. This guy's one of the top rocket scientists basically in the world, but he was in the actual operational facility when the landing was happening. He had an interview, and in that interview, he said that people came out of that ship. They came out. He said there were 8 to 10 foot tall people in his estimate, and they were in all black. And he said that they were watching the moon landing. So they did send a mission to the moon. Apollo missions were real.
Yeah, I deposited like 150 or something like that.
And what's your balance right?
I come over to my son. I say, hey, let me tell you something, Trey. You got 3 choices here. And I'm being very, very gracious. I say, son, either you take that trash out and save your life, or we can have an altercation in this house. And you know I ain't gonna play fair, son. I'm gonna throw bleachy eyes and bite you in the face, some real penitentiary shit. And I'm trying to let him know where I'm at. Or I say, son, I can do this. I can do you a favor, son. I can come down to that gym and beat you in that ring. Choose it, son. My son grabbed his gym bag and said, I will see you at the gym. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think it was gonna go like that. So he leave out. I call the coach of the gym. I said, hey, coach. He said, what's going on, Ali? I said, man, I need you to do me a favor. He said, what you got? I said, man, get that ring ready for me. He said, what did happen? I said, man, Simba has challenged Mufasa, and I'm coming down there. I get to the gym, and my son is in the ring, all his boxing stuff on, warming up. I say, now wait one damn minute. You don't throw no 10-punch carbon, father. Son, it sounds like you hate me, like I wasn't a good father to you. Coach come out that room. He said, come here, let me talk to you. This boy got a fight coming up. Don't fuck him up too bad. Now, you know he ain't the same type of fighter that you were. I said, don't tell me, you tell him. No matter what my feet at, I can throw something real dangerous. And my son about to find out. Coach said, you want me to wrap your hands up? I said, no, I'm good. Just put my gloves on. Do you want me to lace the gloves all the way up? No, just tuck the strings in. I ain't gonna be here that long. He said, you want a mouthpiece? I looked back at my son. I said, for what? My son has on all of his boxing attire. I have on the same thing I had on when I told him to take that trash out. Holler out, ring the bell, coach. I said, oh, somebody got gusto. This boy come and bull rush me and throw a jab on me. First of all, son, you ain't even tap gloves. No sportsmanship. I rolled on the jab. I ain't even look at him. I looked at the coach. I said, that was interesting, wasn't it, coach? And I rolled back. This man is in trouble. My son, it's his first jab. He gonna throw this little stupid ass check hook. I know it's coming. He throw the check hook. Caught a lot of people with this check hook because they step to the side or they try to pull back. I'm a real fighter. All I did was bend my knees and watch that shit go past me. I said, oh my God, what is that? Is that an overhand right? I hit my son with the fire. I come over to my son. I say, hey, let me tell you something, Trey. You got 3 choices here. And I'm being very, very gracious. I say, son, either you take that trash out and save your life, or we can have an altercation in this house. And you know I ain't gonna play fair, son. I'm gonna throw bleachy eyes and bite you in the face, some real penitentiary shit. And I'm trying to let him know where I'm at. Or I say, son, I can do this. I can do you. I can come to the gym and beat you in that ring. Choose it, son. My son grabbed his gym bag and said, I will see.
I take this money. I got bills. I pay my car. I give it right back to you. Then I gotta pay my rent. I give it right back to you. Don't that mean I'm working for free? I'm sorry. I just want to understand it, bro. I just want to understand this shit real quick, B. I want to understand it. Reflection. I want to understand this real quick. I own a business. I own my own salon. The building is owned by some realtor. I call them up. I pay the realtor. Who gave the realtor the money to get the complex that I'm going to own my business in? The bank. Right? But I got my own business. So I'm coming in here, but I pay my rent to the realtor. Who pays that? To the bank. Right? So wait a minute. I'm getting this money now, but it's still going to the fucking bank. And then now, because I own my own business, I'm the man, I got bigger bills. Guess what? Pay my employees, whatever, collect my stuff, and now I gotta pay my car note, because now I gotta fly, pay my car note, that go to the bank. Pay my apartment, my house, my mortgage, that goes to the bank. It's a rat. I take this money.
Here's how this coffee recipe paid for my entire creative studio. Every time I tell the story, people...
He's hitting people cold when they're not ready for it. Look at the chest. When the chest flexes, then the punch is coming. Well, that's a bit of a flaw my estimation, because that means you're flexing this before you throw the blow. But now, if I punch with my weapon, my chest ain't flexing. My weapon is moving. It looks like I'm too far away. But I do this, right? And then by this point, I turn my hip and shoulder, and all of a sudden that punch is right at you. And that's the thing that I was showing Kimbo.
Don't let me hit it. Ready?
He was like kind of a backyard fighting legend, and he tried to make what had worked. But then when it comes down to it, if you don't have the basics, you're not going to go very long. Yeah. He would telegraph a great deal. He'd lean in like that. That's okay if you fight other guys on the street who don't know any better, but people who learn from the beginning, they're going to capitalize on that.
He threw a quick punch, bam, landed me right in the dome.
He kind of freaked out because he's like, wait a minute, I didn't see that coming. He was telling me, hey man, how are you doing this? Why don't you see the punch coming? That's when I was like, yeah, I'll show you outside.
Now I'm going to throw 3 jabs. Don't let me hit your hand. Just move it out the way. Now notice the speed of the first 2. That's 1, 2. Okay, now here's the third one. Come on. Okay, the first 2 I threw faster. Those I'm going not even half as fast. It's just the way I'm throwing it. I'm going straight. I'm not telegraphing.
Don't have no movement, just like body language, really.
Yeah, it's the goal. Right here, forward. Right here, forward.
He's hitting people cold when they're not ready for it.
And he leaned over, and you won't believe what he had the audacity to say to me. I trained for several marathons and ran marathons on 1 meal a day. What? 1 meal a day. And I mean, my partner, every time we running, if I was a little tired, he'd be like, I'm tired to tell you. You gotta get a smoothie or something, man. Get you some oatmeal. So every time he was running tired, yes, that breakfast on you, boy, ain't it? You know, as time went on, we ended up strengthening each other. We were out one day, and we were running a 21-mile run. And because we always was in this righteous competition with each other. So he's saying, eat like this, do like this. And I'm saying, brother, this is the best way. So if I was fatigued, he would beat me up. And if he was, I would mess with him. We get to the 17-mile marker, and I'm hurting. I'm hurting bad. But I look over at him, and his back is straight. His stride is good. He got such a good pace. I said, if he can do it, so can I. But really what I said, I'm not going to let no cognac nipping, black and mild smoking, cheeseburger eating Negro. He's not getting ready to beat me. If he can do it, I'm going to keep running. Yes, sir. We got to the end of the run, and we both fell out in the grass. And he leaned over, and you won't believe what he had the audacity to say to me. He said, brother, I got to tell you something. I was hurting real bad at that 17-mile marker. But I looked over at you, and your back was straight. And your stride was good. You had such a good pace. I said, if he can do it, so can I. Point is that we borrow strength from one another. That's what brotherhood does. Yes, sir. That's what having an accountability partner does. That's what unity does. It allows you to borrow strength from one another to help both of you all propel beyond what you could have done on your own. And he leaned over, and you won't believe what he had.
I appreciate y'all coming out, man. What up, though, man? So what's going on? Shout out to my VIPs up front. Auntie, don't try to look the other way. Scary ass. To my VIPs up front, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all know how this go. And I might add, y'all look very interesting. What's up with you? You by yourself? What happened? You just came dolo? You bought 1 ticket. Huh? Where the other person at? Nah, fuck that. Nah, real now. I don't play that. What, nigga, what? Oh, what happened there? Okay. She ain't gonna come out? Man, call her real quick. Let me holler at her. Don't be scared, call her. She'll be all right. You say it's the anniversary of her son's passing? Okay, yeah. She only talk to you first. What's her name? Shh. I will. Maxine, why you ain't bring your funky ass to the comedy show tonight? Your brother done bought you a seat, the seat empty, the lady now, she done put her purse on your seat. What kind of shit is that? Now I heard what you're going through. And I want to tell you something that, you know, there'll be better days ahead. You got to keep your head up and keep going strong. But don't sit in the house, man. Come out and get some of this medicine next time and let me help you get through that. Now, no bullshit aside, what I really believe is that you probably somewhere getting some dick and you ain't know how to tell your brother. So go ahead and enjoy yourself. I'll talk to you next time.
That nigga stupid right there, bro.
I appreciate you.
Do you feel like you're like the most underrated rapper in the history of rap, or at least on the list?
Probably. AZ would say some slippery that music, but nobody was hearing it the same way they heard what Nas was saying. I'm listening to the whole thing. I'm looking at the whole picture. I'm looking at it going, yo, every now and then that would say something. But something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners.
But something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners.
Nas had to go back and rewrite his verse. Fact.
And he finally said this one rhyme, and it was like the skies just opened up.
Visualizing the realism of life and actuality.
Visualizing the realism of life and actuality. Oh my God. Crazy.
Favorite collabo you ever done?
Like How You Living.
You can look, but don't touch. We bad news.
American me, elegancy.
More money, more murder.
More money, more murder, more homicide.
The essence.
What's today's mathematics?
We had it, we let them hold it. We should have sold it.
We back at it.
Life's a
bitch and then you die.
serious that never came out.
You should have known I was serious. Still the prettiest, point blank, period.
Feeding wild alligators on swamps, got miles and acres.
I keep going. All of them is my favorite. I mean, anytime you get with your Cold D.
AZ knew how to spit it and talk about that life, and from like a book author.
I saw Nas and I went to the studio, and he was halfway through Illmatic. And I was just there supporting, you know what I mean? Coming through showing love. And probably the last song was Life's a and LES was in there, he put it on, and I'm in there vibing. I'm like, I'm rapping, he's like, yo, let me hear that. And I did it, and I'm like, get the out of here, man. You popping, like, you love, right? Already, because I think halftime was out.
It's halftime.
You know, me, I'm not that confident. Right. I mean, at the end of the day. So when I did it, you know, the crew was in there, they went crazy. I figured it's just, you know, they're showing love because I'm there, whatever. A week later, he came back and said, yo, I turned the album in. I was like, word. He's like, and I kept Life's on it. I was like, oh,
okay. What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
What is freedom?
Freedom is black power.
What is black power?
Black power is...
Do you know what black power is?
No.
Well, then you should never should make any statements if you don't know what they mean.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
All right. How old are you, young man?
I am 4 years old.
You're not 4, Aaron. Now you tell me your right age. How old are you? How old are you?
I am 4 years old.
Are you sure you're 4?
Yes.
You're gonna let me turn you around and tell you you're some other age? You're 6 years old, Eric.
No.
I can't hear you, Eric.
No.
Are you being frightened by me?
No.
I'm the teacher. I said you're 6.
I am 4 years old.
All right, you stand up for it then. You shouldn't be weak. You stand up and say it. You ought to scream it in my face if I try to tell you different, right?
Yes.
Have a seat. Stand up, young man. Are you a Negro, Travis?
No.
Are you a flunky, Travis?
No.
What are you?
I am black and beautiful.
And what else are you? Are you a boy?
No.
What are you?
Oh, man.
What kind of man?
Black and beautiful man.
Or what kind? Are you an old man or a young man?
Young man.
You, young man, you come here. You're a Negro.
No.
I am your teacher. You are a Negro.
No.
Suppose I threatened to beat you. What would you say? Aren't you a Negro now?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an African Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This $1, if you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yeah.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro? Are you an American Negro?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Very good, man. Keep it up. You had to think about that a minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. What is your...
A man who constantly chases sexual stimulation is avoiding his real life. He wants success, but every time things start going right, he finds a way to mess it up. He overthinks, overplans, and underacts. He calls it burnout, but it's really avoidance. He's tired, but can't rest. Resting feels like losing, and deep down he's scared, not of failure, but of what happens if he actually wins. That's why we created Wisey, a CBT-based system designed to help high IQ men retrain their brain, rebuild focus, and finally stop self-sabotaging. You start with a quick quiz, then do 15-minute daily exercises that rewire how your mind reacts to stress, pressure, and fear of success. Within days, you'll stop being the smart guy who does nothing, and finally become the man you are supposed to be. Take the quiz and start today. A man who constantly chases sexual stimulation is avoiding his real life. He wants success, but every time things start going right, he finds a way to mess it up. He overthinks, overplans, and underacts. He calls it burnout, but it's really avoidance. He's tired, but can't rest. Resting feels like losing, and deep down he's scared, not of failure, but of what happens if he actually wins. That's why we created Wisey, a CBT-based system designed to help high IQ men retrain their brain, rebuild focus, and finally stop self-sabotaging. You start with a quick quiz, then do 15-minute daily exercises that rewire how your mind reacts to stress, pressure, and fear of success. Within days, you'll stop being the smart guy who does nothing, and finally become the man you are supposed to be. Take the quiz and start today. A man who constantly chases sexual stimulation is avoiding his real life. He wants success, but every time things start going right, he finds a way to mess it up. He overthinks, overplans, and underacts. He calls it burnout, but it's really avoidance. He's tired, but can't rest. Resting feels like losing, and deep down he's scared, not of failure, but of what happens if he actually wins. That's why we created Wisey, CBT-based system designed to help high IQ men retrain their brain, rebuild focus, and finally stop self-sabotaging. You start with a quick quiz, then do 15-minute daily exercises that rewire how your mind reacts to stress, pressure, and fear of success. Within days, you'll stop being the smart guy who does nothing, and finally become the man you are supposed to be. Take the quiz and start today. A man who constantly chases sexual stimulation is avoiding his real life. He wants success, but every time things start going right, he finds a way to mess it up. He overthinks, overplans, and underacts. He calls it burnout, but it's really avoidance. He's tired, but can't rest. Resting feels like losing, and deep down he's scared, not of failure, but of what happens.
What's your name? Serena. Serena? Hey, Serena. Who you up in here with? That's your girl? See, hold on. Make my little way over here to you. Serena, what's up? Oh shit, you want some dick? That's gay though. That's gay. My bad. She nervous as a motherfucker. I do want to look at that. Well, you ain't giving out no dick. Talking about ass up. She like, bitch, we be censoring. Y'all be in that motherfucker doing this to each other right here. Let me holler at her. Baby, what dick do she speak of? She got it? I bet you she ain't got it on her right now. She won't let you leave the house with it? You must got friendly dick. That's the difference between me and you. My dick go up, I go. How long y'all been together? Damn. Oh, y'all give it up to that. 14 years they been together. Y'all got kids? I swear to God, I wasn't gonna laugh till they did. You got a kids? Your daughter 15? So you actually had the baby? Oh, so you used to fuck with niggas then? Okay. Dang, y'all been together 17 years. 14 years. And your daughter, how old? 15. So that was just one. You just lived. You had a baby like, you know what? I don't ever want to do that again. Who wants some dick? Damn, what your baby daddy would say? I know that fuck. First day you came to drop the baby off looking like him, I know he was like, what the fuck? The first person you tell is your mama. Mama, this bitch want to be a boy now. What the fuck? I got a baby daddy now. You an entrepreneur? Okay, what kind of business? Tell me to me. Let's start that motherfucker out. You what? You trap? Oh, okay. All right. That's what's up. What did you used to do when you was a mother? Good night, Toledo.
I don't know if you know this, but you are Adam who received the instructions directly and still didn't listen. I don't know if you know this, but you are Eve who convinced her husband.
And cause I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, the rap shit don't work for me. I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm gonna see me some heroin for about a year straight. I'm gonna go crazy with the heroin and fentanyl, man. About a year straight, 2 years straight. I'm gonna get the fuck on out the way, man. Gonna make me $1 million, man. Start investing. And just make sure you keep you a motherfucker to flip. So at first, it hit me. It didn't register, right? Cause I'm like, cause I'm watching TV at the same time when he said I got one earbud in, the other one out. I'm like, hell yeah, man. I was like, man, cause my nigga get out there fucked up. I try to say the question in a different way. Like I try to say, I'm like, yeah, cause if a nigga get out there fucked up, nigga have to do what they gotta do, man. Get out there and show us shit stank, he said. Yeah, man, like I was saying, man, shit, you had to keep you a motherfucker to flip. So now he got me. I'm like, bro, what you mean by that? Like, cause you done said this shit again. Like it's cool as hell. Like, he say, man, the game ain't the same no more. And you gonna learn if you don't listen. I said, what you mean? Ain't nobody keeping it real. I said, what the fuck you talking? He said, man, and we hide now. So now I'm in the streets in my mind. I'm like, ain't nobody keeping it real. But man, you just don't understand how I understand now what he was saying. Like I'm like, ain't nobody. Hell no. I did all my real nigga time. I did 12 years of keeping it real. I did 12 years straight keeping it real. Nobody keep it. I got out, kept it real again. I'm done. I said, so what you? Man, shit, I keep me a good nigga. The good nigga who give me some good prices, I ain't gonna tell on him. The nigga who give me the bad prices, I'm gonna fuck him up. And guess what? You know one thing about the feds. It's gonna work every time.
They want somebody.
See, in the state, it don't work. In the feds, I'm letting y'all know. It's niggas that's selling dope, moving foul, that know how they finna get home already. So don't think You dealing with a real nigga. He already done been popped, got caught with a half a brick, 2-3 bricks, or whatever, a gun. And they finna draw this right here agreement up, right here in the back seat. They finna fax it to the judge, everything right here in the back seat. You don't know. You think bro just pulled out to go to Walmart.
Yep, they are.
The police that got him, he had 2 guns in the car, and you don't know. And guess what? They done gave him that shit back. They done took pictures of everything. He come back to the spot. Y'all don't fucking know what happened. And now he obligated to work. Sometimes, no matter how close I am with people, I watch what I say. I watch what I say in elevators. I done seen people get indicted from talking in the court tank. I done seen people get fucked off from talking in a restaurant. Like the feds dig deep. When they want you, they coming, bro. That's why I said I ain't no use committing no crime. Cause I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Turn to Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now, lest he stretch out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. The mythology is dealing with what those 2 trees are. The tree of good and evil is what? Thank you. What is the tree of life? The cerebral spinal nervous system. That they were forbidden to eat. It is in the middle of the garden. Where's the garden? Now the body. What is this? See it there? Okay, that's in the anagrammatic form. What we need is the soul, is the self. That's where the power is. That's where everlasting life is. That's where the knowledge is. The allegory is showing you reaching the spiritual nature is by going through the physical nerve that allows to experience duality, both good and evil. That's what you experience on the 3rd dimensional plane. When you go up the highway, the spinal cord, you become G-O-D. So they were kicked out of the Garden of Need, and a cherubim was set in the middle of with a flaming sword. First of all, what is a sword? And if the word is flaming fire, what does it do? Gives you passion and lust and sends you outside to satisfy your thirst. Because after you were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, you had to do what? You had to till the earth of which they are made, to tend to the desires of the body, of the elements, of the minerals from which you were made.
Join my free community if you want to learn how to optimize your health. The link's in the bio.
Turn to Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now, lest he stretch out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. The mythology is dealing with what those 2 trees are. The tree of good and evil is what? Thank you. What is the tree of life? The cerebral spinal nervous system. That is the tree that they were forbidden to eat from, which is in the middle of the garden. Where's the garden? Now the body. What is this? See it there? Okay, that's in the anagrammatic form. What we need is the soul, is the self. That's where the power is. That's where everlasting life is. That's where the knowledge is. The allegory is showing you reaching the spiritual nature is by going through the physical nervous system that allows you to experience duality, both good and evil. That's what you experience on the 3rd dimensional plane. When you go up the highway, the spinal cord, you become G-O-D. So they were kicked out of the Garden of Need, and a cherubim was set in the middle of with a flaming sword. First of all, what is a sword? And if the word is flaming fire, what does it do? It gives you passion and lust and sends you outside to satisfy your thirst. Because after you were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, you had to do what? You had to till the earth of which they are made, to tend to the desires of the body, of the elements, of the minerals from which you were made.
Join my free community if you want to learn how to optimize your health. The link's in the bio.
Turn to Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has been...
Superline is going out of business. We are closing down.
Let people handle their own shit. He's a grown-ass.
I think there's a lot to be said to making a commitment to yourself, right? Like, damn committing to anybody else. It's like, this is your journey, and you have to at least be honest with yourself. And if you make yourself a promise, you need to make it happen, right? So if you say, hey, look, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu long enough first to get what do we say? Even if it's not a belt, we say, I want to be comfortable enough where whoever I'm rolling with, I get that, sure, I'm fighting. I'm not going to know everything, but I'm comfortable enough to I'm comfortable enough to get out there and do it, whether they've been rolling for a week, 10 years, whatever. I'm willing to put it out there. Right. I think there's a lot to be said to making a commitment to yourself, right? Like, damn, committing to anybody else is like, this is your journey, and you have to at least be honest with yourself. And if you make yourself a promise, you need to make it happen, right? So if you say, hey, look, I'm going to
It's Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. And motherfucker getting too much money to be out here on some shit that don't matter and ain't making no money. So I'm saying, like, when you saw Kevin Hart and Cat Williams do their thing where all the beef is supposed to be put to the side, did that make you feel a certain way, or how did you feel when you saw that?
I mean, I try to do that all the time. Like, I really admire what Vince McMahon did with WWE. I watched that documentary.
We don't know. Tell us what happened.
So with Vince, I'm not talking about sexual assault stuff. Not that part of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that's just regular.
Not that shit. But what Vince McMahon did when I watched the documentary, which to me kind of was amazing, is that like he had all these superstar wrestlers, but they would always come and go. They would quit. They would talk shit about him. They would sue him. They would win the lawsuit. But time and time again, even after all that, he brought him back because he was just pure business. And he would use the lawsuit in the storyline, and he would profit off that. And he would put money in their pockets too. And they kept rocking with him. That's why when Aries was like, I'll come back and do a show for free, I said, yeah, let's do it. And you know what else
DJ,
do, Corey?
I gotta give him this. DJ Vlad, do you know my people don't know nothing about that? When my people, I'm talking about people from the hood in America, when they're mad at you, Craig said something about this last week. They think it's supposed to last for a lifetime. It's Kevin Hart and Cat Williams.
Yeah.
And motherfucker getting too much money to be out here on some shit that don't matter and ain't making no money. So I'm saying, like, when you saw Kevin Hart and Cat Williams do their thing where all the beef is supposed to be put to the side, did that make you feel a certain way, or how did you feel when you saw that?
I mean,
if I really wanted to do something to you, I knew you was in your room sleep. I walked right past your cell and seen you still in bed when the doors rolled. One of the homies from St. Louis, a crib dude, he running my cell like, Chip, they having a meeting on the yard. You need to get the fuck up. So I get up. My homies is already in the yard. It's like 8 Bloods. It's like 102 GDs on the compound. It's in Illinois. So they deep as a motherfucker. So they out there having a meeting. When I come out there, I told you I'm tough. I think I'm the toughest nigga in the world. Y'all gotta kill me. So I walk out to the yard. I'm like, shit, what's up? We want to discuss. Nigga, I ain't no discussion for me. They big dog, if I'm not mistaken, he one of the board members. He looking like, oh, this little nigga stupid. I'm like, I ain't trying to talk. It could be one. I could do the 1-on-1. I could do a 1-on-3. I could do a 1-on-7. But I ain't got no rap. He like, no, we ain't. This ain't that, little brother. This ain't. We got a hands-off policy, and I'm trying to give you some game if you shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of they real big men, like killers. He told me later on, like, if I really wanted to do something to you, man, I knew you was in your room sleep. I watched.
I was a teacher, and we don't get paid a lot, so I've always dreamed of starting.
Elo, literally, he shot a shot, and the shot went in, but he doesn't even like process the ball no more. Like, he just turns his whole attention to this man, bro. He's not looking at the game. Like, if the game was over with for Melo, unless it was gonna be 1-on-1. If you gonna throw me this ball and you gonna guard me, then it meant something. Other than that, it was like, how many shots can I miss? And we bump each other. After the game, Elo storm off. Like, he don't want to be calmed down. He don't want to be touched. And I remember as it started happening, I started like adjusting my jacket. This might go left. So they go to the back. Coach is coming out. Elo is in a towel already. He stands there. They come in there. They basically on some, like, getting ready to have a speech. Nigga walks off, goes to the shower. Because he stayed there. Because sometimes if we just had a bad game or the energy was bad, they just like, hey, man, just bring it in. So he was trying to stay flat. They was getting ready to talk. That man quietly walked off. He is always the last one out of the locker room. Boy got a lot of stuff for recovery he got to do. Scratched it all off of this. Ain't no chocolate milk, ain't no protein shakes. Shorty, the man skip all of it. My boy was mad. He like, and then I'm steady asking, I'm Shorty, what you on? He like, I need to have a conversation. I'm like, bro, this ain't no conversation. He go downstairs to the tunnel. You remember this? He go to the tunnel, click the button before me, went down by himself. I come down afterwards. The man sitting on the post like this, staring at they side, waiting on KG to come out. It take them at least 20, 30 minutes. The man lost no fire. I'm talking about smoke coming out his ears. Shorty, arms folded, ain't looked at his phone. Shorty, get up all of a sudden, fast as hell. Get up off the little post, fast as hell. All I see is KG walking. The nigga Mello telling me, KG like, Mello, over basketball. Yo, KG had me. I wanted to laugh. Elo, literally, he shot a shot.
That's delusional, and I'll tell you why.
What you say, baby? Right, she only get somebody only listen to it when she went to a friend group.
You can argue with the facts. Watch me. Okay. What you just said is a complete delusion. It presumes that we went to the moon for science. It presumes that we went to the moon to explore it. But that's not why we went to the moon. We went to the moon because we were at war. Sputnik was not just some orbiting spacecraft. It was a hollowed out intercontinental ballistic missile where they took out the warhead and put in a radio transmitter. The military knew this. That's what founded NASA. NASA's budget for science has averaged over all these years about 25%. The rest has been for geopolitical purposes. That's why we spent all this money. And so the moment we learn Russia's not going to the moon and it's certainly not going to Mars, we canceled the program. It had nothing to do with public interest. That's delusional, and I'll tell you why. You can argue with the facts. Watch me. Okay. What you just said is a complete delusion. It presumes that we went to the moon for science. It presumes that we went to the moon to explore it. But that's not what the moon. We went to the moon because we were.
Superline is going out of business. We are closing.
When a bee colony senses a threat, they begin vibrating their wings in unison. The intense buzzing and synchronized vibrations are enough to drive away most intruders. But this intimidation tactic is completely useless against hornets. The hornet launches a direct assault. The guard bees panic and rush back into the hive, and the first line of defense collapses instantly. Hornets are deadly natural enemies of bees. They are 5 times larger and far more powerful. A single hornet can kill around 40 bees in just 1 minute. Fortunately, the narrow entrance of the hive becomes the second line of defense. This massive predator cannot force its way inside, but this is only a scout. It leaves behind an invisible death mark at the entrance, a pheromone trail that precisely guides its sisters to the hive. The bees know exactly what this scent means. After the hornet leaves, the entire colony springs into action. All the worker bees mobilize, quickly gathering aromatic leaves, chewing them up and smearing them over the entrance to mask the hornet's scent. But sadly, it's already too late. The hornet and its sisters have gathered. Guided by the lingering scent, they locate the hive with deadly precision. The real invasion begins. The hornets launch a fierce attack. The bees that fail to retreat in time are instantly torn apart by the hornets' massive jaws. But the killing doesn't stop there. What the hornets truly want are the plump, nutrient-rich larvae deep inside the hive. Working together, they gnaw at the entrance, quickly widening the opening. One hornet forces its way inside. The second line of defense collapses completely. With nowhere left to retreat, the bees have no choice but to make a desperate last stand. Facing the relentless assault, hundreds of bees swarm forward, instantly engulfing the hornet and forming a massive bee ball. Layer upon layer, they pile together, vibrating their wings intensely. The temperature inside the bee ball rises rapidly, soon approaching 47 degrees Celsius. This is a delicate threshold, hot enough to cook the hornet alive, yet just within the bee's limit of survival. Moments later, the bee ball slowly disperses. At the center, the hornet has stopped struggling, killed by heat inside the bee's deadly embrace. The next invader meets the same fate. Faced with a powerful enemy, the bees do not retreat. Using their tiny bodies as weapons and paying a devastating price, they defend their hive and win this life and death battle. The surviving workers, their wings tattered and torn, begin repairing their damaged colony. The cost is heavy. But as long as the queen remains, there is still hope. When a bee colony senses a threat,
he's gay. No. Okay. I don't think Diddy is gay.
I think and you can see this happening in the world. I think if you expose yourself to sex to a certain degree, your perversions get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
I disagree.
Huh?
I disagree.
I hear you, but
yeah, because I've been exposed to sex. I've said this publicly. I've definitely been with hundreds of women. You know,
that's fine.
Maybe even 1,000 if you count them all up over the years.
Yeah.
I can honestly say my perversions have never gotten to the point where I want to play with another man's.
No.
That's a Diddy thing.
No.
That's a Diddy thing.
No. You said gay. That's bisexual.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is,
to me, that's still gay. I feel like if you're bisexual,
you still gay.
You're still gay.
Yeah, I got that in my set too. But I talk about that in my set too. But what I'm saying is, because straight men will always view it that way, is, you know. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say you a straight man. They ain't even know, we ain't even talking gay shit, right?
Okay.
Let's say you watch.
Mm-hmm.
You got a favorite scene.
Yes.
After a while, it don't turn you on like that no more.
Okay.
And you done watch all the women that's your type for so long. Now you starting to watch women who aren't your type because it's the only thing that can arouse.
Right. They're still women though.
No. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, we leaving the gay part out of it. What I'm saying is, once you expose yourself to stuff, you need a new type of stimulation, right? I think he's battling with his sexuality for sure. It's just with me being close to the community, when you say
he's gay.
My browser is the one place for everything. Work, content, stuff.
They lied to us about Pocahontas.
I won't. I love him.
The Disney Pocahontas.
What's up, baby? It's in the morning, unless you want to get in it tonight. Think got energy for
this movie from 1995 is just colonizing propaganda, anti-indigenous slop. The movie is heavily focused around the forbidden romance, the opposite worlds romance between Pocahontas, the indigenous girl, and the English settler John Smith. And in reality, there was no romance between these two in real life. Pocahontas was 9 or 10 years old when 27-year-old John Smith came to her village. He was known to be a wildly violent man, terrorizing indigenous kids and holding chiefs at gunpoint so that he could rob them of food and supplies. Pocahontas was a real person, and English settlers came to her village in the early 1600s. Pocahontas was about 16 years old. She would be kidnapped by English settlers and sent to England. Was sexually abused by her English captors and would eventually give birth to a son named Thomas. Pocahontas' birth name was Amonute or Matoaka, and they would change her name to Rebecca, force her to convert to Christianity, and force her to marry an English tobacco planter named John Rolfe, who was 11 years older than her. She would mysteriously die at the age of 20. Her family protested to have her buried back home with her tribe, but the English didn't listen, and they buried her in a church in England. They lied to us about Pocahontas.
The purpose of your life is two things. The first thing is to learn how to bring heaven to earth, and the next thing is to love. And through those two methods, or those two modalities or understandings or mantras or whatever you want to call them, the transmission of that is going back to source. And as more and more people get into that frequency of those two things, the universe itself begins to change and shift into higher frequencies. And now the ultimate mission has been complete. The macro, the universal mind, God, source, whatever you want to call it, has been waiting for this movement of energy to shift to a higher frequency in the third dimension, to bring it to balance. How many eons will it take for every living thing to achieve a certain level of balance throughout the known universe? We're on a data collection mission and a mission to bring heaven to earth and to experience love and to give love at the highest level. That's your mission here. And if you live and work and understand and discern that statement I just made, and if everybody can live in that and walk in that power, this world will change literally in the twinkling of an eye. Isn't that what it say in the biblical text? You got to know how to translate this stuff. The purpose of your life is two things. The first thing is to learn how to bring heaven to earth, and the next thing is to love. And through those two methods, or those two modalities, or understandings, or mantras, or whatever you want to call them, the transmission of that is going back to source. And as more
I don't care how long he works, and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
Yo, these are the 5 books them people don't want you to read. And yo, the last one was so wild, it got banned by the church twice. The first book is the Kabbalion. Now, this book breaks down the laws of the universe. Laws.
You say, baby? Oh, okay.
Yo. Hey, bro, I know you like to perform for the sunset, but
I know you fine. Only
gonna
got
get to the
10 more
people?
minutes. So I'm trying to do an hour.
Only people I couldn't wrap my head around, Derrick Rose, because I don't realize how tall he is. He like a real 6'4", and like like real. Yo, I ain't never seen nobody that fast in my mother. And then he like we jump out. He runs so fast too and jump straight up. Man, I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. And so taking the contact and just boom, right? OJ made it before all of us. Step back to KDC today, he was doing that since 13. And then Blake Griffin, I could not believe he jumped that powerful, right? And then no. Then Kevin Love, Kevin Love can throw a chest pass at him. I'm mad he never did this in the NBA. Kevin Love throws a chest pass from full court like Wes Unseld. Only people I couldn't wrap my head around.
Yo, this right here.
So there was this group of women doing a study of the book of Malachi in the Old Testament. And they came upon the 3rd verse in chapter 3, and it puzzled them. It said, "He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver." And they wondered what this statement meant about the character and nature of God. So one of the women offered to investigate the process of refining silver and then get back to them at their next Bible study. So that week, the woman called up a silversmith and was like, "Hey, can I come watch you while you work?" And she didn't mention anything why she wanted other than her curiosity about the process of refining silver. So he agreed, and she went. And as she watched him, he held a piece of silver over the fire and let it heat up. He explained that in refining silver, one needed to hold the piece in the middle of the fire, where the flames were the hottest, as to burn all the impurities away. The woman thought about God holding us in such a hot spot. Then she thought again about the verse. He sits as a refiner and purifier of silver. So she asked the silversmith if it was true, if he had to sit there in front of the fire the entire time that the silver was being refined. He said yes, and he went on to explain that not only did he have to sit there, but he had to keep a very close eye on it, because if it was left a moment too long, then it would be damaged. The woman was silent for a moment, and then she asked, "How do you know when the silver is fully refined?" And he smiled and said, "That's easy. When I see my image in it."
You received that. I want you to type amen in the comments.
So if you want to trade profitably, the best place to start is probably just,
man, he looks different. He looks good. Man, he got his teeth done. Man, is he on Ozempic? Like they were just throwing out all different type of accusations. So let's address them one by one. let's start with the veneers.
Okay, these are not veneers. I paid $143,000 for these things. What happened was I had my jaw shattered when I was 16.
Oh wow!
In a gang fight. As I had my jaw shattered, I had to get this replaced with metal. They put titanium and nickel on this side of my jawline, right here. Well, and I had to get my mouth wired shut for 4 months. As my mouth was wired shut for 4 months, right? As my mouth was wired shut for 4 months, on the 6th month, I got my jaw broken this side because I got into another fight while my jaw was broken and I got hit with some brass knuckles. So they had to put metal on this side. Well, what happened was about 2 years ago now? About going on 2 years ago, I ended up developing what you would call a liver cyst. And the liver cyst came from nickel toxicity. Couldn't nobody find out where the nickel toxicity and the titanium toxicity or the heavy metal toxicity was coming from because I had a very clean body.
Right.
So it comes to find out that I was leaking nickel and titanium from the metal that they put in my body when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
So I ended up going to one of the best dentists. It's a biological dentist in Fort Lauderdale, Dr. Centron.
Okay.
And I mean, she's amazing, man. When I say I feel like I know a lot of stuff about biochemistry, anatomy. When I say a woman never taught me so much about my mouth, and I thought I knew a lot about mouth, but sitting down with her, she just really ran game. I said, dang, I need to stick with you for a minute. So they basically devised a plan to take out all of my teeth at the bottom, replace the bone, replace that metal with human bone, which they did.
Yeah.
Man, went through a crazy process. I actually cried because they told me that I was gonna have to get a lot of these teeth taken out and get implants put in. So I had to get a bunch of zirconium and biolog. They took my DNA, they put my DNA in a centrifuge, then they matched it up and they found biological material to build all this stuff with. That's why it cost $143,000. No insurance, cash, y'all. No insurance. So I had 12 surgeries, man. 12 surgeries, and it went for a year straight. I went to Florida for a year straight, probably every other week, and it was all because of pain. It was nothing pleasuring, no beaches, no getting up, no relaxing, none of that. It was all pain, man. And then, mind you, they had to put me to sleep every time. I don't take medicine, but they had to put me to sleep to take them. So, man, I was going through a lot, man. And a lot of people didn't know about it because I just felt like it wasn't nobody's business.
Y'all, this is a woman with no man, though.
Yeah.
Go
You're
talk
damn
to
right.
them women with a man.
That's right.
Go talk
That's
to them
right.
women with a man.
That's right. I
I
saw
saw
them.
others who were married 40, 50 years. You talking to a woman with no man.
Exactly.
Listen, talk to me outside the book. Talk to me about a woman who been married 30, 40 years and let her tell me about her man, because she can't tell me about all men. Let me tell me about the men that you chose, the men that you had. Don't tell me about the men you didn't have, because you don't know those men. Right? Because if all men were the same, all men will be doing the same. If some nigga beat women, if some nigga won't dare touch a woman. So we're all different. Yeah, we have the same chromosomes, makeup, all that. Homie, but our environments, how we raise, super shit. Because once you develop a conscience, once you learn right from wrong and you got a conscience, homie, I wouldn't give a fuck what turn you on, you wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give a fuck how horny you is, you ain't gonna cheat on your wife. When you develop that, you fight against your nature. You deny yourself. That's where fasting and praying come in at. You develop coping skills. You develop critical thinking skills, conflict skills to supersede your nature. That's where the morality comes in. Y'all, this is a woman with no man, though.
I don't know what's going on with that. I got to figure out why it's broken.
Look, I got mad respect for the BMX shit, bike life, all that. But this right here is the final fucking boss. My boy out and wherever he at going absolutely crazy. And that's just some beginner shit right there. Bro done went the bike. And if y'all could find bro, let him know I got an ankle brace for him. Ball must have just made his way over there. I might swear. Nah, this shit impressive, but the next shit he do is OD. What the fuck is that? And I just realized, bro ain't even got no BMX bike. He doing this shit on a mountain bike. Do you know how fucking strong you gotta be to do some shit like this? There are literally cars coming down the road. Most of us see this as time to get the fuck out the way. My boy right here sees this shit as an opportunity. No, he ain't got liability on that motherfucker. He better stop playing. Oh, hell nah. He done trained this bike like a dog. We gonna call that move the Lost and Found. Bro, ain't no goddamn way he doing this shit with no pegs. He got his feet on the goddamn rims. This man man done defied every law of science with this shit. And then got the nerve to keep a straight face like that's some normal shit. How in the hell you make the bike do a 360 and it ain't leave the ground? Bro just did all that shit in a vintage tee, some swim trunks with no socks on. Now you see he got the helmet on. Kids, be safe out here. Look, he letting them know too, this my shit. I just need to know how we get this man in the Olympics. He out here risking his life for respect from the hood. He ain't getting no bread from this. Meek Mill, I need you to give my man a call. Bro out there going crazy on 2 wheels. Look, I got...
You want a jury trial or a non-jury trial?
It doesn't really matter. If it gotta go to trial, then it gotta go to trial.
When this defendant decided to represent herself in court, the judge's reaction signaled that the hearing was about to take an unexpected turn.
People versus Alexis Brown.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of, well, not on behalf of Ms. Brown. You know, we are the attorney of record on this case. When I did meet with Ms. Brown, she informed me she wants to represent herself.
Your name?
Alexis Brown.
All right. Is that correct that you want to represent yourself?
Yes, it is.
In this matter, Brown, I do have to inform you that the complaint in this case alleges that on or about June 8, 2024, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did commit the offense of assault and or assault and battery against a Latasha Browning. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, I do.
That is a misdemeanor, punishable by 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand the maximum penalties?
Yes, I do.
You would need to understand that if you would like to represent yourself, that you would be held to the same standard as any other attorney.
Mhm.
The court will not be assisting you in any fashion whatsoever. Understand that?
Okay, so the time that I started count 93 days,
I'm sorry.
the time already, don't that counts for the 93 days?
I don't know how much time you
I served 30 days already.
and if you serve 30 days, it may count. What do you have about?
And then no contact with the victim as well.
And the monetary amount, 5,000, 10%, then it should count. Yes, ma'am.
And so I have a question. So when I was arrested, I wasn't actually told my rights. So ain't that against the law that you wasn't told your rights when you arrested me? Well, not you, but the officer.
I cannot,
You can't do nothing about it right now?
I
All right, I just want to state that.
can't answer that.
I just want to state it.
All right.
Okay.
What do you want this set for, ma'am?
I mean, Your Honor, we have no offer at this time.
Do you want it set for a trial, ma'am?
Sure, I guess if
You want a jury trial or a non-jury trial?
it doesn't really matter.
Well, you've got to make a decision, ma'am.
If it gotta go to trial, then it gotta go to trial.
Okay. You have to make a decision, ma'am.
It could have a jury, fine, that's fine with me.
Jury final settlement conference in this matter will be set 17th at 9 a.m. Pre-selection in this matter, October 20th at 8:30. Thank you.
So am I free to go? So why am I not free to go? If she just said she got a bond,
Pardon?
why am I not free to go? Why do I gotta serve time when I'm not even?
You have a bond on the case, ma'am.
So if I get my money, I can get out. But she just said it was no bond.
Post bond, you can get out.
So I'd rather post bond. So where do I go from here?
You need to post the bond.
Okay, what's the bond? You just asked her the same thing. 'Cause she said
5%.
it's $500.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'd rather post bond. Where do I go from there?
Go post bond.
Okay, thank you.
It's your fault, parenting. It's like sucker dick. Into that. You got up there and then just said, well, we're the attorney of record, but you want a jury trial or a non-jury trial?
It doesn't really matter. If it
I'm gonna say this once. Start trading. $20, 28-day challenge. 5 months ago I started. This state, I don't think about the price. Not because I understand my money.
Let's
Sorry.
make a bet. You start trading tomorrow. In 28 days, you'll thank me.
I want to, but I'm scared.
Of what?
Of being 57 and failing at one more thing.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You haven't failed. You've survived. 57 years. That takes more skill than any stock chart. $20, Finello, 4 weeks.